What is up, everybody? You are checking out the PGH Chris Show here on PGH Chris TV. I am your host, PGH Chris, and today we are bringing you finally your preview between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans at Acrisure Stadium in the first round of the 2025-26 season NFL playoffs. I am PGH Chris again, here to give you guys the preview of Monday night's game. Yes, Monday night at 8:15 on ESPN live in Acrisure Stadium. I'm very excited. We finally get the home playoff game we haven't had in a long time. I think the vibes are very much there for not just the players and the coaches, but the fans. And I think that place, if last week showed you guys anything, it's that Pittsburgh Steelers Nation knows how to show up in big games when it counts. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to do just that this Monday against that incredibly stacked Houston Texas defense. But first, before we get into the video, I am PGH Chris, like I said. This is the PGH Chris Show, produced by my production company, PGH Chris TV Productions, which is sponsored by DUBBY Energy. DUBBY, yes, use code PGH Chris as you see on top of the screen for 10% off your order at checkout. That is, if you want to get yourself some nice W while you're streaming, gaming, all that stuff. If you want to join the W movement and be better, make sure you guys go check out W, get yourself a tub or two, and use my promo code PGH Chris and get yourself a nice 10% discount. But I'm not just saying it. Let's hear from our sponsor. All right, everybody, make sure to use code PGH Chris at checkout for 10% off your order for W. Join the W movement and be better. And a quick thank you to all of our partners and sponsors of the PGH Chris TV show. Now, let's get back to our thank you again to all of our partners. W, that is the Sports Jedi Network. That is Dude Wipes, the official sponsor of the Sports Jedi Network, and PGH Chris Productions. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the preview here. It's going to be a fun one, man. I cannot wait. The 12-5 Houston Texans will be traveling on the road Monday, January 12th, in 2 days at 8:15 in Acrisure Stadium. And I think it's going to could be one of the best games in the first round. Now, we just started here as I'm recording this on Saturday. The game right now between the Panthers and the Rams, it's pretty close. I just think it's anyone's game when you get into the playoffs. And, you know, we've seen Cinderella stories, quote unquote, play out. But I don't think the Steelers, I think they're super underrated in this thing. I know we're not super, we haven't played to our full potential all season. I mean, you can see right here, yards per game, we're 25th in yards per game and 29th at time of possession per game. I mean, that's not very good. Those aren't good numbers. You know, I think we got to push the ball downfield. Look, we get DK Metcalf back. I don't know if you guys are hearing me, but I'm gonna say this again. DK Metcalf's coming back. That's right. Damn right we deserve it, because we almost got kicked out of the playoffs. We almost didn't make it. And DK, his absence would have been a big factor on why. So very happy that he's back into this game. Again, that's going to let a lot of our offensive guys like Calvin and Freiermuth and even Marquez Valles-Scantling to just do what they have to do their assignments, and let DK kind of do what he does. We're going to have to push the ball downfield with him heavy to start. I don't think we need to rely on run first. I think we need to come out of the gate, which they're not going to do. I've been saying this for months, all season actually, but they're not going to do that. They're not going to come out of the gate and start swinging and start throwing the ball downfield, because they're going to try to run the ball. They're going to try to get Gainwell and Jalen Moore to get that run game going early in the game. So if we need to, maybe pivot a little bit later on, I don't think it'll be that much of a challenge. But we'll see. I think if you get the run game or the pass game going early on in the game, DK has not played in 2 games. Who knows how much, conditioning, reps, all that stuff that he's been doing since he hasn't been really allowed in the facilities or anything like that. Because when you're suspended, you're not allowed to be with the team. You're not allowed to travel with the team. I don't know if you're allowed to practice with the team. Don't quote me on that one, but if he's not, I mean, who knows how much he's really been doing. So it is important that you get him going early, let him find his rhythm. I'm not saying you first play, second play of the game, you go down and throw for a 35-yard helmet or go route. No, you don't want to do that. But get him going and get him little hitches, get him little slants to start off, get him a big first down to get the crowd going. And I think he heats up, and I think he will will eventually be, set into a position where he can make big plays later on in the game. But it's going to take a lot. It's going to take the offensive line to keep playing good football. I don't think they've been playing bad football since they kind of been making this run since Aaron Rodgers. I think they've been fine for the most part. There are a couple times where in the pass protection that it's not the greatest, but for the most part, I mean, Aaron Rodgers doesn't take that much sacks. He hasn't that much in his career, but I think this season might be the season he's actually taken a lot more. Again, don't correct me, but I think that is the case. So we're gonna have to figure. They're gonna have to, make sure he's protected back there. But that Houston defense is really good, man. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, they're second in total turnover differentials. The Steelers are fourth. They're in third in total defensive interceptions. The Steelers are eighth, and they're seventh in sacks, while the Steelers are sixth. So defensively, they're a pretty good team, man. I mean, they got a lot of pro bowlers, and that linebacker core is phenomenal. So that's why I'm curious to see how much we pass and see how that's going to work, because I think if their linebackers come crashing in, it could be hard for that run game to kind of open up there. If they play a lot of man, which I'm not really sure if they do or not. I haven't watched many Houston Texans games. I don't think I watched a Houston Texans game all season. So I don't know if they run a lot of man or what, but I think the last time they played was in 2023, where the Texans just absolutely destroyed the Steelers there. They ran a lot of man there, and the Steelers really couldn't do much. I think they only scored like 6 points, 2 field goals that game. So I don't think this will be the case. I think obviously the circumstances were different back then, right? We quarterback I think was Kenny Pickett. So it's gonna be a much better game than it was in September of 2023. I'll tell you that, because I know that was early on in the year, in the season that year. And I think, look, if that Houston defense, if we can find ways to kind of eliminate a lot of what they like to do, which is essentially blitz, make it challenging for them, I think we will have a fun time on offense. And I think we can get some points on the board. But that is the key to this game, is keep getting Aaron Rodgers and this offense have got to get points on the board, because if we don't get no points on the board, it could be a rough night offensively. But again, what I want to see Calvin Austin go deep, open up that run game, open up DK Metcalf. Obviously, you want to see DK Metcalf going early in the game. I want to see a good run game. Kenneth Gainwell, right? Keep doing his thing. Go on to into the flat, catch the balls, run for yards. Keep doing what we're doing on offense with a little more rhythm, and I think we'll be fine. But before we get into the defensive part of the game, before I tell you guys what I want to see defensively from our guys, again, another word from our sponsor, DUBBY Energy. DUBBY, use code PGHChris for 10% off at checkout. All right, everybody, make sure to use code PGHChris at checkout for 10% off your order for DUBBY. Join the DUBBY movement and be better. And a quick thank you to all of our partners and sponsors of the PGHChrisTV show. Now, let's get back to our program. That is, again, a thank you from our sponsors, DUBBY Energy, the official sponsor of PGH Chris Productions and Sports Jedi Network, and Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes, the official sponsor of the Sports Jedi Network. Defensively, it's gonna be a tough one, man, because I don't, we had a good game against the Ravens. I don't know how confident I am in the Steelers to continue that momentum defensively. I think CJ Stroud's had a good season. I don't think he's had a spectacular season compared to third, fourth year quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round. But He's had a couple different, receivers and targets in the last 3 years. But I think he got what he needs, and that's Nico Collins, a receiver that can just do big things when he needs to. And look, I don't think their run game's all that well. The run game's not all that well. CJ Stroud does just threw just a little bit over 3,000 yards for the season, has a 64% completion rate, 19 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. He's not the best quarterback we've played this season. And if we advance, he's not going to be the best quarterback we play in the playoffs, because if we do win this game, you know who we play next? We play Bo Nix. Bo Nix in the Denver Broncos, which, hold up. Let me talk my shit, because people in my comments, now I posted my last video, or 2 videos, a couple of days ago, I posted a video where I gave you guys my NFL playoff predictions. Did my bias ass do that for, a reaction because I'm a Steelers fan and I picked them to pick the Super Bowl? Sure. But there were some things that I said in that video that I think could happen, and that's beating the Denver Broncos. I'm going to say that again. That's beating the Denver Broncos. And all I heard in my comments section was,
brother.
Like, what? You're going to tell me that the Steelers, all they had to do was get into the tournament. All they had to do was get into the playoffs. They beat the Lions, beat the Colts when they were the best team. They beat the Patriots in Foxborough. You're going to tell me that we can't beat not just this team, but any team moving forward? That's why I stress it's anyone's game. I truly think, look, the Panthers are tied 17-17 as I am recording this video, with the third quarter about to end against the fucking LA Rams. Like, come on. I'm done sitting here thinking to myself, holy shit, PGH Chris, are you fucking delusional? Are you just one of these Steelers fanboys that just don't know, the difference between fandom and football? But no, the difference between me is I can actually give you guys shit to back up my biasness, stupidity. Because I've been here with you guys on Twitter all fucking season. I've been on YouTube for the last month telling you guys this. This isn't just stuff that I'm saying now. I've been telling you guys this all season. Last season too. That there were points where we were hot and we had the momentum, and I truly believe we could beat anybody. You're going to tell me if we didn't have the momentum going into that last week of the season last year with Russell Wilson, because we got fucked playing the Eagles, the Bills, the fucking Ravens twice, and then we played them in the playoffs. Lost 4 or 5 games in a row, and you're going to tell me that if we didn't have the momentum, we wouldn't be? Because we saw Russell Wilson last year when he had big games. The team was feeling it. Mr. Unlimited was kind of out there. Like, there are points when the Steelers get hot that I truly believe nobody can stop us. And that starts with our defense, because everybody praises us and everybody thinks we had the best fucking defense. And I'm going to tell you something, brother. We do not have the best defense. No, we're close. Statistically, we're probably one of the best turnover defenses, I won't lie. But, just if I could find you a stat on how many rushing yards we've let up this season, it would probably be 32nd in the league, because our run game fucking sucked all year. But again, look at Detroit when they played when they wanted to, and they had a good game, and we only held 2 of the best running backs to under 20 yards. So the game defensively is going to be crucial. It is crucial that TJ and all these guys, not are just healthy, because we know TJ's coming off a collapsed lung. So he's probably going to have a limited practice. But, Cam Hayward, he needs to get going. Starts up front like it does every game. I stress that so much, guys. It starts up front. Every game starts with Keanu Benton, starts with Cam Hayward, starts with Derek Herman, first-round pick out of Oregon. And then TJ and Nick Herbig, Jack Sawyer, and Alex Highsmith. They're all crashing in. with Jalen Ramsey and Joey Jr. in the backfield doing their thing. Good coverages and man, getting in their assignments and zone, being what they need to be. And I think this could be anyone's ball game, guys. I think the Steelers have a good chance of winning. I'm not going to limit them in any way because there is a true chance that we will win this game Monday and move on to the second round against the Broncos. But one thing I'm really confident is that the game is at home and we are going to have that home atmosphere. I just need Arthur Smith and Rodgers to be on the same page when it comes to the play calling. All this little stuff that I've been stressing has to come into play this Monday night. In our playoff game, look, we cannot go 10 years without winning a playoff game, 11 years without winning a playoff game. This is it. I know a lot of people are talking about Tomlin. A lot of people are, is this the last game? It could be. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Because every time he barely makes his way into the playoffs, we lose first round. So it is important we win this game. A lot of people's jobs and possibly careers are at stake. Aaron Rodgers, this could be his last game. So we got to make it count. But overall, I think the boys in Sears Nation will get it done. I think we'll win our first playoff game in 10 years. And, we'll be on to the next. But I think it's going to be, a game to look forward to. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, follow me on all the socials. It will be linked in the description. Please scan that QR code, buy me a coffee, join our membership tiers, or if you just want to leave a donation, please leave a support donation. It helps with content, helps with news, helps, you guys, there's different tiers. If you guys want behind the scenes, personal cameos, or just the basic tier, start from $1 to $10. Anything will support the PGH Chris show. And I thank you guys for watching. I will be back Monday night with a halftime report during the halftime of the game and possibly a post show right after, depending on the outcome, depending on what the game is. So stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.